drinks. It's been a while. Let's see this. Live. I don't know if I left that over there so long enough for you to see it. Eaten by alligator here. Oh, I'm not messing with that. That's for damn sure. Fuck, man. Walk by it too close by there. It's like just stand there for a while, give them the time to swim over and take a bite. Imagine they're yeah, we're not gonna do that. I feel like at least 3 or 4 of them are in there. This park is it's the holiday. I was gonna go to the beach, and this is the last. I haven't done a beach one in a long time, but everybody's there, and it's hot. So and there's nobody here, which is very strange. It's the park. You'd think there'd be individuals here, but there's nothing here. So, that's the alligators and the chickens, I guess. Oh, it's a squirrel. Yeah, some people here, but not a whole lot of. Yeah, this little moat over here, yeah, it's like you stand by it long enough. I think you have to stand there for a while. Then you'll have an unpleasant visitor probably eventually. You should have to watch where you're walking too. Alright, yeah, squirrels everywhere here. Over there. At least it looks like one. Yeah, that's one. He's digging a hole or something. I don't normally see him doing that. Anyway, so yeah, this is by the road. There's a couple of people here, and it's nice and shady because out on the beach it's just blazing. At least at this time. When it gets darker, it just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, just especially all that's been going on work-wise and everything. I haven't done one of these. It's too much. Not to say it's anything productive, well, I guess so, but nothing to write home about. Alright, so let's see, clear out all the controversy stuff I'm tapping into. So yeah, the Mother Earth energies, of course, the Earth itself pulls in the energy of what we're going through. Of course, it also sends us a lot of tests. Of course, it doesn't also tell, we have to, as many know, they get their minds get shut off. Oh yeah, by the way, the road's like right there. But our minds, when we go through certain situations, we can't see. And we have to go through what we got to go through. So that's how we learn. And it is what we make out of this place. While we're here, I think it was mentioned yesterday too, but it's really what you're conjuring up, whatever it is. It could be anything. It could be nothing. It could be a word or two or something like that. Yeah, a lot of times people just put their energy into their kids, which is a good thing because they don't really have anything here constructive to leave, like write a book or build a castle or whatever the hell it is, build a tall building in New York City, like you got enough of those already. What's your contribution? Look at New York City or Chicago or any of those places. It's like, I built the building. Just sitting around building a building, just this concrete wall. Hopefully somebody can use it for something. So, that's one. Well, not everybody's up for that, and there's plenty of them around, probably empty at this point. At least during 2020, it was all, we don't know where we are. Of course, the AI stuff's coming in. Yeah, it's not really intelligent. It's just another way of doing things. It's funny how they call it AI. It's not, I guess you gotta call it something, but if it was artificial intelligence, we'd be talking to it right now. We're doing your homework. It kind of does already, but doing your homework, talking to the teacher, I don't know, it'd just be more like a housemaid or something like that, or whatever the hell it is. Your indoor masseuse or whatever, bodybuilder, whatever people need. You know, that would be artificial intelligence. Of course, they have that stuff built into the phone and stuff, but hardly anybody uses it because it sucks. I guess some of it might work, but anyway. But yeah, we're in a revolution right now. Kind of like the online, the internet started up like the 1990s, the AI, the .com situation. It's very similar to that. Still figuring out what it wants to be and everything. So, at the end of the day, it will calm down. But yeah, we'll probably get some robots out of it at some point. I guess the robot vacuum is probably the most popular robot out there. I got one of those. It keeps running into stuff. I can't use it. It just runs into stuff and sucks everything. It screws things. It makes it's more trouble than it's worth. Let's put it that way. I got it for the cats, but it's like all it does is cause trouble. I mean, if you gotta clear out everything, you have an empty room, then I don't have enough space for that. Even when I have less space now. I had more space before. It's still a pain in the ass. Yeah, I'd grab onto something and start sucking on like paper or whatever, and just sit there and just be a pain in the ass. It's like the cats didn't know what to do with the damn thing. So it's like you need somebody to watch it. What good is that? So yeah, I just thought it'd be fun just to let it run around, but yeah, it's not worth it. So anyway, yeah, so AI sucks. So yeah, good luck in robots apocalypse, or yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, as for the Mother Earth frequencies and everything, yeah, of course it's learning from us and all that too. It's like a fairy or a Pleiadian shows up, or any alien mind, you know, they'll know all about you, but you're also a teacher for them too. I mean, they find you amusing too. I mean, everyone has their own beings that pay attention to them, so if they get bored, they go to somebody else. There's always somebody interested in what the hell they're doing. Even if it's the most boring, mundane thing ever, you'd be surprised. They're still observing and learning. I mean, you really learn when you're here, but they're still learning from some point of view. So it's something. Like when you watch a movie or something, you're learning kind of from them. Of course, a lot of this, or read a book, or you're learning some kind of. But if you're in the book, you're in the situation. It's a whole different story, of course. Yeah, because one thing is saying, oh, if that scenario, you'll do this or that. But if you're in the scenario, it's a whole different story. When you're in the situation, you know, you see it from a whole different perspective. So it's easy to say all kinds of stuff. If you're a president, you do this or that. If you're an owner of a company, you do this and that. But when you're finally in that situation, yeah, like where I'm working right now, the industry is dying. So you just try to make it work with what you got. You know, keep with the wheel oiled, what's there, because you try to, you know, build. Good luck with that. It's hard to build on something that's dying. Industries die all the time. Spirituality is kind of interesting. I don't know, it kind of changes. First, because, you know, Catholic religions, that's just the easy one to go after, but, you know, that's just a one, yeah, because it's easy to mention, but they go up and down too, so there's a lot of churches around here that are not doing so great, but yeah, you have the New Age church stuff, the more hipper, you know, instead of the old-fashioned 1950s, now they're all rock bands and all that, or yeah, you gotta change with the times, it makes sense. Yeah, not gonna go into all that though, but yeah, you have to change with the times and so on. And we're definitely going through that. It does feel like there'll be less people here at some point. I can just feel it. Less people are having kids, but the relationship's a lot more difficult. Of course, surviving is become unbearable. So now the AI stuff's coming. Actually, eventually help in some areas, but it doesn't mean you're going to help you relationship-wise. It is very dystopian. There's not much way you can turn that around. I mean, not for everybody, but there's pieces of it here, so it's just the way it is. So, yeah, the future obviously is always going to be unknown. Yeah, June, May, only thing, like I said, with May is the Pope situation, and that's not really world changing. If there's anything going on in May that I'm not, it's the tariff stuff that they won't freaking give us no break on. So June, July, August, yeah, some kind of transition into June, but maybe mid-June. Mid-June and July. So whatever that's coming, that's maybe an event or if anything, it'd be, I don't feel early June. It might have pieces there we're not seeing. Yeah, mid-June going into July. Whatever that means. Don't know I don't know other than that. I mean, we might see the writing on the wall, but it's hard to read what is coming with that, but I wouldn't put the energy for like the, worst case. I mean, you can. You prepare for worst case scenario, but it doesn't mean the worst case scenario will occur. It's not really being clear what it's going to be. China, I think China feels like it just wants to be it wants. I mean, obviously, if it gets picked on enough, it's going to fight. But I don't think they want anything to be more unstable than it already is. They want to make things worse. Let's put it that way. But if they have to fight, they'll fight. I don't think the U.S. really wants to go. I mean, they're going through a cyber warfare, trade warfare. That's probably about it. Russia seems, at this point, stable. I mean, not stable. Where it's at, stable, not stable. But it's not. It doesn't feel like it's going to go off to other places. Of course, you never know, right? I mean, it could go out. Russia's intentions is not to go fight the world. From what I'm feeling, so that's why it's not there. It's not like the World War II. Like we're just starting in one place and we're going to take over the world. It's none of that. I don't feel the intent. I mean, if it has to survive and all of that, and NATO is doing their, who knows with that. There's other agendas. That's a different story. They have to. I feel like China and Russia are kind of on the same. It seems like they're friends. That's the vibe I'm getting. Well, whatever that means. Always, that's what behind the scenes feels like. But then again, they can always turn against each other, or whatever. Doesn't matter. But either way, it's just the World War III energy. I mean, society is kind of going through a World War III identity crisis. With that, uncertainty and everything. Obviously, it could be worse. But it doesn't mean the worst case scenario will occur. Obviously, the economy is not doing great, but it's, it's also showing those that want to incarnate. Leaf. Yeah, those that want to incarnate, see what you're getting yourself into. I'm not sure if births are going. I've never looked that up. Of course, can know. It feels like the birth rate is going down. At least it feels that way, and it's understandable why. It's hard to sustain it in this environment. It's going to get probably. I mean, of course, I always say the numbers are getting larger, particularly in the third world countries or something. Of course, the U.S. is kind of one, but it just seems like the birth rates are actually going around down worldwide for the most part. Maybe not everywhere, but it doesn't matter. So, Asia is pretty powerful right now, at least energetically. So, all right, we're going to the elemental energies, just a short frequency there. Mother Earth, I guess. Versus elf energy. Is everybody's here as usual. Going to Mother Earth. Okay, that makes sense. greens is Mother Earth's frequency. Trust your instincts. Even in the Garthian realms, the elves and the princesses and your royalty don't know the future either. They are lost as much as you are in some ways. They can't see the future, but multiple futures. And many of you are the same way. As society becomes more elemental, more trusting of its power, gradually, you might not have all the answers, but at least you feel like you're more connected to the earth than you have, and less fearful energies. Most are shut off due to their own darkness, and you can say some do have their shame because of what they've done in the world, and they're not too proud of themselves. And some do have like a devil side of them that they don't want anyone to see, but as you can see, it's not that hard to see. Not that it's that important, but some are still feel like they can conceal it even when they're not really concealing anything. So, but it's just because basically, as you go, this is why it's hard to see the future, because so many are closed off. If more society was opened up, just ever so slightly, not so afraid energetically to be open, it'd be easier to see the future because you can see it through each other's frequencies. Because you hit roadblock after roadblock. And even in Garthian realms, it's the same thing. Not everyone's fully awakened there either. At least energetically, many are shut down. Ogre beings, some do shut themselves down just because they don't want anyone to happen to their frequency. They want to come out of nowhere and be a pain in the ass, and so on. Everyone has their free will, so that's why when this new earth that some speak of, yes, it can have a lot of fantasy elements, meaning like there are, even when you have everything you want, once you have it, you want more. Even in the higher dimensions, there's places like, they get bored. Okay, I accomplished that, now what? Now, that might be coming from the Earth's frequency, but still, there are realms like that. And they do envy your world a lot of ways due to how complicated and lost it is. It's a challenge. It's like, it can get overbearing and hellish, yes. And many might be envious of this world, but doesn't mean they want to incarnate here. Because they know they'll get lost and see that really ugly side of themselves. So, but they are helping you. Those that are curious about your world do assist. Doesn't mean you listen to them. Sometimes they can, they can take you off course. Sometimes that's why you have to know what you want. But it's good to explore also. Sometimes, is there any such thing as over-exploring? No. You just have to watch. Know your, just it's patience too. Some of you are speeding up in your frequency, and you just want some comfort. But also, this world, yes, has a slowness about it. That's because many of the beings here are shut down, and so finding your frequency is not that easy. You have to go through the weeds of the storm that's around them. So there are many actually looking for your frequency, even those of you out there. Maybe not connect to you physically, but you never know. It's just they have their own little world that they're trying to decipher. So in your path here, though, is just getting to know yourself on many different levels. So, what do you do with path business?